We can hold tension and trauma in our joints. So, this next practice is designed to help you move through your major joints, releasing that tension and creating space for freedom and mobility. You don't really need anything for practice unless you want to hold on to a chair or a wall, so you don't have to focus on balance, but instead focus on the joint release. So, let's do it. So, just start with your feet underneath your inner hips and your toes pointing straight ahead. Let's crawl your shoulders up your back and let them slide down. Finding your weight over the center of both feet, take a nice deep breath in through your nose and a big sigh out your mouth. Deep breath in through your nose and sigh out your mouth. Deep breath. Big sigh. Open your eyes and bringing your hands to your hips or holding onto a chair or a wall if you want that for balance. Just going to bring your weight onto your left foot and extend your right heel forward. So your foot is off the ground just by a few inches and you're bringing your toes back toward your shin. So you should really feel your ankle turned on. And we're just going to take some ankle rotations here. I like to hold my thigh to keep my thigh stationary so I know that I'm really just using my ankle joint instead of rolling my whole leg around. So as you bring your toes back in towards your shin, hold the top of your thigh and just start to let your toes roll out to the side. And then push through the ball of your foot toward the floor as your toes come back in and up and around. We'll just do two more like that. So pressing out and down and in and up and really kind of pushing down through the ball of the foot and in and up, and then go the other direction, pressing down. I like to think of like pushing my foot through some warm sand at the beach, up and around, and pressing the toes in and down, and then up, and one more rotation all the way around and back up. Now just stand up for a second and just sense into your right ankle, left ankle. Notice if there's any difference. No worries. If not, we're just taking time to notice what's here. So we'll move into a knee. We're going to do kind of like do the whole right leg and then we'll shift onto the left leg. So bring your right foot slightly forward. So not like a full on like warrior one stance, but with your right foot a little bit forward of your left so you can bend your knee and maintain your balance. Your entire right foot is firmly pressed into the floor. Hands to your hips again or holding on whatever you need. Let your knee come a little bit forward of your ankle. We're going to take some knee rotations. You can make these circles as small as you want to make sure you're not feeling any sensation in your knee joint. Keep your foot rooted to the floor and let your knee move out. And then as you straighten your knee, you're just going to bring your knee back. And then as you bend your knee again, it's going to move it toward the midline, towards center. And then forward a little bit over your ankle and out to the right again. And then straighten the knee as it comes back. In, forward, out, and back. Really keep the sole of your right foot firmly rooted into the floor. One more circle around, in, and forward. And just step off that front foot, bring your feet together, same deal. We're just going to sense into right leg, left leg, see if you can notice a difference. No expectation or judgment, just seeing what's there. And hands to hips again or holding onto your chair. We're going to extend the right heel again. This time we're going to move from the very top of the thigh. So the leg and ankle foot will all move as one unit. So keep your hands on your hips or hold onto your chair and rotate your foot and leg open from the very top of your thigh. And then we're going to rotate it in. Try not to hike your right hip up. Just rotate that thigh in as much as you can using a bit of effort. And then taking it out, rolling the entire thigh bone out. And then roll it back in. And one more time, roll it out as far as you can. Kind of hold it here for a couple seconds. Make sure you're breathing. And roll it back in. Give it a little squeeze there, like you're trying to it's almost like you feel like you're wringing out that hip joint. One more breath. Toes straight up. And then just coming back to stand. And yeah, you got it. That check in from sole of the foot all the way up to the right hip, noticing like right to left side if there's a difference. And we'll just switch feet. So now standing up on your right foot, hands to hips, extend your left foot forward, just flexing the toes back toward your shin, holding onto the top of the thigh, toes roll out, pushing down through the ball of your foot, and then toes roll in and up and around, and do that a couple more times. Out. Again, that sensation, or that like using your imagination, like you're pushing through some wet sand or warm sand at the beach, and all the way up and around, flexing the toes, and go back the other direction. In, pushing down through the ball of the feet, using some effort. You might notice if your ankle, if it doesn't roll smoothly, like there's a couple of places where it feels a little bit like jerky, that you might need to spend some time on this daily in order to smooth those circles up. Stand, just stand for a moment. Sensing in, right foot, left foot, right ankle, left ankle. And then stepping your left foot forward, a small step so you can put the bend in your knee. Knee comes forward of your ankle, hands onto your hips, and we'll roll the knee out. This could be a really tiny circle, so don't feel it in your knee at all. Like if you feel any discomfort or sensation in your knee at all, you're going to make much smaller circles where your knee rolls in and forward, and then out and back. And one more time. In towards center, forward, out, and back, in towards center. Keep the sole of your foot firmly planted on the floor. And then roll the other direction, in and back, out toward the side and forward, in and back, out toward the side and forward. And just stepping your feet together, pausing, sensing into both knees. Deep breath, easy sigh. And then extending your left heel forward again, holding, not holding the top of the thigh, actually just holding onto your hips and letting the thigh bone roll out, toes turn out as far as you can. You might really feel this in your glutes and in your outer thigh, outer hip rotators, and roll the thigh in, hold it there. Try not to hike your left hip up. Try to keep your hips kind of even with each other. And then roll out and roll in and roll out. Hold it this time, like a little squeezing of the external hip rotators, and roll in and kind of squeeze it there for a moment and release, and just stand for a moment now, feeling both ankles, knees, hips, just sensing into how you feel in your body, mind. So I want to take a nice simple twist, maybe taking your feet out a little bit wider, putting a soft bend in your knees, reaching way up through the crown of your head and letting your arms kind of relax by your sides. First, we're going to turn to the right, but we're going to go super slowly. So you're going to start by rotating your pelvis to the right, a little bend in your knees, and mindful that you're not feeling any sensation in your knee joints. If so, you're not coming so deep into the twist. So first, just rotating the pelvis. And then once you feel like you kind of can't get any further with your pelvis, you'll start to add rotating your ribs. So just turning your ribs like as if they were moving like in an X over your pelvis. And then once you get sort of as far as you can with your ribs, then your shoulder girdle. So start to roll your shoulder girdle all the way around as far as you can, mindful of your knee joints, chin parallel to the floor, and add turning your head just back as far as feels good. We'll take a nice deep breath and stay in the position. A deep exhale. 2 more deep breath in, stay in the position. Deep exhale. 1 more time, deep breath. As you exhale, you're taking your pelvis to rotate forward, then your ribs, then your shoulder girdle, and last but not least, your head. And we'll do the other side. Soft bend in the knees, rotating your pelvis over to the left as far as feels good, super mindful of your knee joints. And then when you feel the limitation there, then you start to roll through the rib cage, rolling your rib cage back. Once you've reached that limit, then add the shoulder girdle, rotating the shoulder girdle back, and then finally turning back and looking back behind you just as far as feels okay. Really look back there, see what's really back there, right? And take a nice deep breath in. Deep breath out. Stay in the position, deep breath. Big exhale. One more breath here. And breathe out. Slowly rotate pelvis forward, ribs, shoulder girdle, and then finally your head. Just come to stand here for a moment. Close your eyes and sense into how you feel in your body mind. So now bringing your feet back in just a little bit so they come right underneath your hips. And we'll go through some shoulder rolls. So you're just going to bring your right arm out in front of you, thumb extended and all four fingers kind of glued together. Bring your left hand onto your ribs and snuggle your hand in there so you feel you're sort of pressing your ribs a little bit down and in. And we take that right arm up and reach across with some effort. So you're really putting some effort into this right arm as it comes up in front of your face. And then as it comes up next to your ear, you'll turn your palm open to the side and then keep turning it. So now your thumb turns down as your arm goes back. Keep turning it so now your thumb goes back as your arm comes down next to you. Back of the hand is next to you. Thumb is facing straight back. I'll just turn so you can see. We're going to go straight back up the other way. So your right thumb goes up as high as you can. Try not to lean forward, but keep the center of the chest lifted as that thumb comes up as high as it can. Then start to turn your palm open, and you're making these circles just as big and wide as feels right. So not coming into any strain or discomfort. And then the arm crosses in front of your face as you reach down just part way. We'll take that again. Arm comes up, lots of effort in that arm. Try to keep your ribs stationary. Don't let your ribs turn open to the right. As you reach your arm out behind you, thumb turns down. Keep turning like you're turning from the very top of your arm bone until the hand rests next to your thigh, thumb straight back. And then go straight back up behind you. Don't lean forward. Roll your arm up and open, reaching out as wide a circle as feels okay. And then just crossing like you're trying to brush your bicep into your nose. And then let your arms float next to you. Pause for a moment, sensing into what it feels like in your shoulders. Right side, left side, just a little comparison. And we'll take the other side, holding on to your left ribs with your right hand, just to really hold those ribs stationary so you're not twisting open as you move your arm. Left arm crosses in front on this diagonal. Keep the arm really active as you take it up in front of your face, reaching up and back. Hold your ribs. Don't let your rib cage turn open to the left as you reach your left arm back. And again, you're just reaching through this as far as feels right. No pain or discomfort. Thumb turns down. Back of the hand lands next to you. Thumb goes straight back up behind you. Try to keep your chest high and then turn the palm open and up next to your ear. And then let it cross in front of your face. Keep the arm nice and active. One more full circle up. Turn your hand open. Thumb is up first, then down, and then right back behind you as the back of the hand comes next to you. And then lifting it straight back up, reaching out and around. Thumb comes up and reach it across your face, almost like you could touch your bicep to your nose. And then relax both arms next to you. Pause for a moment and breathe. So one more rotation. This one is for your neck. So nice tall spine. Start with your chin parallel to the floor. Drop your shoulder blades down the back. Connect to your breath. And then bring your chin to your chest just as deeply as feels good. You'll take your chin and trace it. Like trace your collarbone with your chin over to the right. And then lift your head up, lifting your chin up like you're trying to draw a big circle up on the sky with your nose, keeping your head lifting way up off your neck. Don't let your head just fall back behind you. And then as you come across, you'll bring your chin down toward your left shoulder, tracing across the left collarbone back to the center. And we'll do that again, over to the right, lifting up like you're trying to make a big circle, nose reaching up like you're trying to lift your head off your neck. And then tuck your chin down to the left and to the center. One more time to the right. You're making these nice big smooth circles, lifting like you're trying to draw a big circle up on the ceiling with your nose, tip of your nose, and chin to the left shoulder, and then center. Back the other direction right away. So over to the left, lifting your head way up, big circle with the nose, chin over toward the right shoulder, tracing down through center. And again, you're not moving through pain or discomfort. If you feel anything other than spaciousness in your neck, make the circle smaller, at least for now. And as you do this daily, you'll find you have more and more space, more and more mobility and freedom in all of the joints. And chin to the right and down to center. And just let your head float. Pause here, breathing. Sensing into your feet underneath you, having created some space in your joints. We'll just take one breath here to release. Big inhale. And let it go out your mouth. So I hope you feel great. Namaste.